Impostor indeed. Oh my god. Why was it so laggy all of a sudden? Oh my god, everyone's here.
Is everyone ready to what?
Am I blind or are we missing someone?
Yo.
Yeah, Toko's not here.
Huh?
And Toko is?
You really don't remember?
Come on.
Kidding! I'm just kidding. How can I forget that little nut job? She's a crucial part of the class trial this
What are
time.
you gonna do?
Okie dokie, I'll just go ahead and drag her out of here kicking and screaming. Just one moment, please.
Just like that, and just like what he said a few minutes later, he reappeared dragging Toko behind him. I just told him I didn't want to, but he forced me. I can't believe you would drag a girl around. Terrible! You're just terrible!
Woo, now everyone's here, right? Okay, then let's load in the elevator. Let's get the show on the road. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
So, shall we go get going? It's time to find out who killed Chihiro. Chihiro Fujisaki. She was so gentle, so calm, and meek. Nobody had any problems with her. And then she died. Someone made the choice to kill a girl like that? What? That's crazy. And that murderer is one of us. Someone's standing right here. I really hope it's Ifumi so we can say bye-bye to him. You ready? We doing this?
Well then.
I will uncover the villain who performs such heinous acts on a weaker individual.
I don't know why the killer did what they did, but I'm sure it'll work itself out. Justice always prevails, right, bro? Yes, that's so true.
Don't you, Taco, bro.
Shall we go?
Shall we begin? Yeah.
Hey, come on.
Toko, man, what's got her so worked up?
How very sad.
Miss Fujisaki, I must admit, for being 3D, she was quite remarkable. Of course, just the idea of 3D makes me cringe. Dude, just the idea of Fufumi makes me cringe.
There's something odd about Toko's behavior. I do not think mere shock is enough to explain it. I guess I wasn't much help at all at this one.
I give you plenty to work with. Show us how far your logic can take you. Okay, bud. We have no choice, right? We have to do this. Yes. I gave a small nod in reply. With one last deep breath, I walked towards the elevator on shaky legs. With each step forward, I could feel my heart starting to race faster and faster. As soon as everyone was on, the elevator began to descend. I couldn't even handle my emotions. I couldn't get a handle on my emotions. Couldn't stop speculating. Wow. Me, so good at read. The steel box sank with a heavy clunking sound deeper and deeper into the ground. And as we went deeper, the uneasiness in my heart grew bigger and bigger. The elevator was unaffected, however, and continued to descend without hesitation until finally it came to a sudden stop.
Oh, that's so crazy! What do you think? I redecorated. Isn't it so fresh? Isn't it so exciting?
Don't waste our time with stupid questions. Let's get this over with.
Very nice.
Good. You're rip-roaring to go. Gotta say, I don't hate it, not at all.
Well?
Okay, then let's get the show on the road.
Chills, kill!
Everyone, please find your assigned seats.
And so the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith, a deadly class trial. Wow. Jesus, that was a lot of words that I just said. Did we get any more skills? Oh, we did, apparently. Attentive influence. Increase the influence gauge by 2. Effective during the class trial. Ooh, that's good. It gives us more health. That's pretty broken. Ooh. Reduces damage to the influence gauge when you miss effective or non-stop debates at the Hangman Gamut, the bullet time battle, and the closing argument. That's actually insane. Taking less damage? That's pretty epic. Alright, yes.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, then. So, first off, let's talk about the murder weapon!
First, we have to make clear what was used to deliver the fatal blow. I wonder what it could be. Maybe the dumbbell that's covered in blood. Interesting.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
Come on,
I
Taka.
bet it was an iron pipe.
No, you're no. Oh my God, that was the wrong button.
Poor Chihiro.
Yeah, I know.
Chihiro's, it appears
I
it-
know.
According to the Monokuma file, what kind of blunt?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
No, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong. Whoa.
Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell found at the scene of the crime?
Yeah,
it
you
was covered
idiots.
in blood. And there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
You looked at her head wound?
Yeah, what are we supposed to do? Just be like, ah, there's blood coming out of her head. It must be stabbed.
Yay! That's so creepy!
Hifumi, nobody asked. Yeah, exactly.
If you don't mind,
Talk
I
about
will proceed
creepy.
from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit. Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
What? For real?
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
Genocide Jack, the fiendish serial killer. Did he really kill Chihiro? I know Elephant is bad into non-stop debates. Would you like to hear more? Absolutely. For this debate, lines of white noise will appear to disrupt your actions. Your truth bullets will disappear if they hit these lines, so think of them as obstacles in your debate. But there's a way to keep this white noise from getting in your way. Press the right mouse button to attach it to the silencer, which you can use to shoot down the white noise. However, if you shoot an actual remark with your silencer instead of the white noise, the time limit will decrease, so take careful aim and when you have your silencer out. Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to gentle, white noise won't appear at all, in which case you can forget about the silencer and just focus on the situation in front of you. Well then, good luck and have fun. Well, we aren't babies, so we don't have that on.
Cool.
So we have white noise. Genocide Jack case file. So it's gonna be, oh, but they are tied up and stuff, but then
The
we're gonna be like,
culprit is
oh,
Genocide
but
Jack.
no.
I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
So true.
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
Hey, so
What the freak?
Genocide. I don't know who that is!
Of course you don't, Hifumi. Now shut up.
The culprit
You're no
is
longer a
Jack
part
case
of this.
closed.
But that,
Why?
well, I mean, there's just no proof for it.
no, that's wrong.
Yeah, Owie, get your head in the game.
Might know one reason he could be involved.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. So let's forget about that for now. More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail.
Oh, really?
According to the file,
Does
there
now?
appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Boob lust.
No, oh my god. Stop.
No. It's actually bloodlust.
But more
Yeah, you
important
idiot.
is the other characteristic.
Jeez.
And
God,
it's something that
I
has
hate
never
this
been made
Sucks
public.
so much.
He's
Never
not
made
gonna
public?
die. He's
What
gonna
the hell
be
is
the
it?
last person alive.
Why don't you tell them?
No.
Dakota?
The other characteristic of every Genocide Jack case, which the world at large doesn't know. If I'm not mistaken, it has to be How the
Yeah,
body
where?
is positioned.
Apparently,
Yeah.
in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way. Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of. It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
No fucking way!
Or it's
You're saying
Byakuyo
Genocide Jack is one of us?
faking all of it.
One of us. One of us.
Yes, in fact,
He's among
it's
us.
Toko.
Oh.
What?
Oh, he's just got that
Genocide
gonna
already.
say
Jack's
it.
true identity is Toko Fukawa.
Hey.
Could be, or it could be
Wait,
Byakuyo.
hold on a sec.
Could be
Toko has,
Bakugan.
bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind
No,
of
no,
serial
no. She
killer
turns
is afraid
into
of
a
blood?
maniac when she sees
Is
it.
Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
Another riddle? Man, why is this gotta be so complicated?
It's a riddle for sure, but I feel like I understand it. It means for Genocide Jack to be a Toko, but also not be Toko. For that answer, she's not just one person, but multiple people, right? Hangman's Gambit, Misa for Gore. Oh, wait.
What?
Oh. I need an O.
Now I understand. Is it because Genocide Jack has a split personality?
Huh?
I think I read that somewhere in the file too. They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
Perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
The one thing that shows Toko is but her behavior changed. She didn't have a stutter anymore.
You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
She must have hit her head real when she fainted. The world is in front and the back, and top, ending, and bottom, a sea of truth and a web of lies. This is quite concerning. I mean, she sounds completely different.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
That's so true, Taka. You're so smart.
Don't go
Taco
assigning
Big Bird.
adjectives to my tongue without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can handle blood, and one that obviously can.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
I want that Genocide Jack have control! I won't give her the controller ever. It's my turn on the Xbox. I'll drive at the killer, drive at the murderer's feet.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
How?
Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story.
Oh, so she just told him.
Said
She
a
told.
murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any
Wait,
time.
hold on. Let me get this straight. She's simping for this guy, and so her way of getting him to, she's just like, oh yeah, by the way, I have a serial killer living inside of my brain. Also, would you like to date me? Is basically what she did.
And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak
killed someone.
attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
Isn't that cool?
This
I've
is
committed
all a
murder.
lie. Right, Toko?
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
What?
You promised. I can't believe you lied.
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to. This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale.
God, Byakuya sucks.
Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise,
There's no way it would be that easy, though.
I'm sorry I couldn't keep your promise, but don't worry, never again. I won't let Genocide Jack have control ever again. It's my turn on the Xbox
You
forever.
said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me. That's the only reason I promised.
how many times do I have to tell you? I never said that, but you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it,
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
I hate you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
The person you don't mean.
Toko's body suddenly lunged backwards. A huge thud echoed across the courtroom, but in the next second...
Well, hello there! Is it me you were hoping to see?
Okay.
What the heck? So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
What the fuck is this?
What happened to you?
Not Toko, that's a loser name, and what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's fault.
So intense.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
This is the murderous fiend Genocide Jack. This is beyond insane!
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
I swear to God, Hifumi, if it's weird.
What's up?
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Thank God he actually said something normal for once.
Yep.
Well, I'll tell you, I am the mastermind of all masterminds! Just kidding!
Then it's not true?
Of course it's not true! How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid? And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless! I mean, they just let this idiotic bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town!
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed. Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
I mean,
Interesting.
yeah,
Very,
that is
very, very
fair, but
Sorry, as much as I
yeah.
hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
Huh?
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such
Unless
a
Bakugan
bizarre
is faking it
fashion.
to try and get Genocide Jack.
Maybe so, but
Yeah.
nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah. I could never believe a word you say, you monster.
Maybe she's totally right about that, but something's still bothering me. What she said, I need to get some more details about all this. Sick
Bakugan.
beats. Status of the dead body. What do you mean by that?
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely.
No, it doesn't.
No, that's wrong.
Bakugan, he set this
Are the
all up.
methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that. I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How's it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you! I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian
always.
restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef
What if you
Boyardee.
gave Toko the gift of the Skizzors?
Mine.
Oh.
Let me rephrase that in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
There's one difference between the murders. In the photos from the Genocide Jack cases in the next stomach, you see the victim's fatal energy.
For one,
Injury,
the cause
not
of death
energy.
is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors.
So true.
But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method? And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
That's right. In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce.
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking?
So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
That's right. The second difference is related to how she was suspended. In the photo, the other victims were stabbed through their hands, so I guess the clear difference was what was used to suspend her.
Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them.
A gun.
Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what? I use my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement. Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else? Big Mac said there's two differences.
Big Mac?
He's wrong.
Big Mac?
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Why are we Big
That
Mac?
could be the name for.
There's
Yeah, that should be the name for Hifumi.
My word.
After all, you are what you eat.
Notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case. There's a pattern
Then I'm a
there,
human.
just waiting to be discovered.
A pattern?
figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
Let's see. There's a pattern surrounding the genocide activities here. If you look at the names of victims, you'll notice is I think I figured it out because yeah, Chihiro was a girl.
Is it because Chihiro was a girl?
All the people that he named were men.
Right on the money.
That's a TikTok audio.
What are you talking about?
Oh.
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
I'm not gonna read all these names again.
They were all guys?
That's right! The people I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men! I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the mopey side of me just hates it. But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged man-madam!
So since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
The way Taco said that.
When Italian chefs suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid. I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely, when you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lolly
Lowly cur?
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement?
That's so true!
That
exactly
does make some amount of sense.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire world scissors!
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that?
She's fully equipped!
That's right! So I can kill anywhere, anytime! Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong! You can't, can you, gutter dogs, all of you! Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot. So rope's totally out of the question anyway!
I have no idea what's going on anymore! Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Yeah.
But Bakugan
To
does.
be the real deal, and not some copycat killer or whatever.
Actually, hold on. There is one person. One person could have copied the Genocide Jack cases. Select someone. Ooh. It's obviously Hero. Just kidding. It's Byakuya.
Here's my answer.
Aha, Bakugan.
Byakuya.
Die.
It's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
Then the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
No.
Byakuya, what's your response?
I
Almost
see.
as bad as
So
Hifumi.
now the suspicion falls on me. Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
And the locker rooms. They're suspicious. Very suspicious indeed. Wouldn't you agree? Suspicious. It seems nobody searched the locker rooms. Let's start with the girls' locker room.
You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy...
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
Nothing strange about that, I'd say.
On the contrary, there's something very strange.
Okay then, what's so strange about it? Go ahead, share with the rest of the class.
There's a clear contradiction in what Byakuya just said. To make it clear to everyone, a new element is added to non-stop debates, absolutely. Next, we're going to add something called a truth flashback. If you aim at a weak spot and hold down the left mouse button, then you'll memorize that weak spot. This memorized phrase can only be shot once as a single truth bullet. If you shoot or change the truth bullet, it'll disappear from your truth cylinder. However, you can use the flashback feature as many times as you want. If you don't see the answer to a lie or contradiction in your loaded truth bullets, it might be wise to memorize a different weak spot and use it to make your case. And then there's when's the best time to flashback? Well, you'll just have to use your keen wits, won't you? In this case though, I will say that if you don't use a flashback, you won't be refuting anything. Well then, good luck and have fun. Okay, so we have to refute it with something, with a flashback. Yeah, God.
Monokuma file number 2.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room...
Oh my God.
Okay.
Absolutely take it. That's a natural reaction for any guy.
No, that's just a natural reaction for you.
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl.
Oh, how did he know though?
No, that's wrong.
Oh my God, I just geniused that. I didn't even know. How did he know that it was
I'll tell you
Chihiro?
what's so strange about that.
Ooh.
Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't
Yeah.
have known who the victim was. So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
It all makes sense now.
That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak.
What?
What's wrong? Is that
Explain.
it?
We literally have
Surely
evidence
you've got
against
more
you.
than that. Go ahead. Show us.
That's Byakuya's attitude. It's like he doesn't even care. I've got him cornered, but he's acting like it has nothing to do with
What's the
him.
matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
There is. I think.
There is more to it. Think about it. We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
The difference between this case and the other Genocide Jack murders. The evidence that Byakuya is responsible is hidden in there. What could it be? The extension cord, right?
True. That's what was used to tie her up, isn't it?
Yeah.
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special, and I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
Oh, well, that's wrong.
Oh.
Well, I guess that makes sense because she was just explaining. Okay, I'm stupid.
When I want to kill, and I use those same scissors.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right. It absolutely was.
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life, obviously.
No, I skipped past it. I pressed the wrong button again like an idiot.
What? The difference? You want me to explain? When I want to kill, and I use those same scissors.
But Chihiro, it was some kind of...
That's right.
Then there must be some...
Hey, Byakuya, I'd never seen that.
Funny chipmunk voice.
Yeah, Hifumi got the funny voice.
Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because, you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
What?
Taken from the lamp.
Byakuya,
Did he use?
you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
And Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right?
He's doing it again. He's totally calm, totally unconcerned, as if he wasn't even involved. Wait,
What's
not
wrong?
even involved.
I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Huh? Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it.
I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
Wait, what was that just now? Something's not right. Chihiro's body was definitely found in the girls' locker room, but doesn't that mean can I really just accept what Byakuya said is the truth? No, I don't think so. There's definitely something off about what he said. The scene of the crime? Did he say something different?
You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown. She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that. How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later.
And then they switched up the things in the locker rooms, right?
Along with the rest of the murder.
Yeah.
The rest of the murder scene? That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
I believe I do.
Hey Byakuya, did I just take you off guard? When the story suddenly moved to this crime scene, Byakuya who had been so confident up till now. Maybe Byakuya never even realized that the actual scene of the crime could have been somewhere else.
Don't just move on without permission! What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Sorry, Taco, allow me to explain.
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
Evidence that shows the murder took place somewhere else. There's something that's been switched in the boys and girls. This carpet. Or the posters.
Yeah, poster.
Yeah, poster.
There we go.
Poster! The proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof is some posters?
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big boobed supermodel.
Why did he say it like that?
Why would the girls' locker room
Couldn't have paused for a
like
second.
that?
Yeah.
To think about it.
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake.
Okay, bud.
Meanwhile, the boys' locker
Someone
room
knock
had
her out again so she stops
poster of
talking.
the
Yeah.
super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Protein coffee?
Yeah, Hifumi, you've never heard of protein before, but it's okay.
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some
Only protein he
coffee
knows
on the
is the
carpet.
protein from his Big Mac.